FDA warning to tell you about this morning.
We've layered and loaded our food with high fructose corn syrup or sugar, fat, and salt.
If you're a bacon and soda lover, you may want to rethink your diet.
A scientific study is shedding light on the particles that make up plastic water bottles.
California's unprecedented bill to ban 4 food additives.
We turn now to a series of stories that we are doing this week on how U.S. food regulations have left American consumers exposed to chemicals and additives that have been banned in other countries.
How do you feel about yourself? Is this how you envisioned your health being? I'm assuming you've always had this internal feeling that there's more in this world for you, right? Well, here's the golden question. How many times have you wondered how your life would feel and look if you had almost perfect health? Or what about just not having to struggle with low energy, joint pain, poor sleep, and low drive? And if anything remotely close to this has crossed your mind recently, then you're in the right place, because the next couple of minutes could possibly change your health and way of life forever. I'm gonna show you how this rusty bolt called Spartan Bee Bread has impacted 60,000 plus lives to fight back against the sneaky and disgusting cause of so many today's health problems. You need to be aware of these sneaky hidden molecules being laced into everything you touch. It's affecting most Americans today. And if your health is not where you know it should be, then you're a part of this crowd, and I don't want you to suffer anymore. So keep watching, and I'll show you what you need to become aware of. But first, let me quickly introduce myself. My name is Kuhr, and while you might not have heard of my name before, you've probably seen some of my multiple viral TikToks. Or maybe you're one of my 650,000 followers, or you might have heard about my brand, the Stampede Network, maybe from a friend, colleague, whatever. Almost all of my life has been focused on sports and health. As a former D1 athlete, a college running back, I had to perform, and taking care of my health was my #1 priority. Later on, I'll tell you how my dream of going to be a professional athlete crumbled in front of my eyes and almost destroyed me. In short, I've had my feet in the health and wellness space for the last decade. Here's what I've discovered over the years that's led me to start the Stampede Network and see thousands of people change their lives after taking Bee Bread. Supermarkets do not sell food. They sell poison disguised as food. Food that you may have been made to believe by money-hungry corporations that are safe and healthy. These are the same foods that have destroyed the lives of millions of Americans. So here's the harsh truth. The truth is that you must come to recognize yourself before it's too late. You might think that this is what you're eating. Well, I'm sorry to tell you, you're actually eating this. Man-made chemicals are and have been laced in everything. Everything we eat, everything we drink, touch, wear, and breathe. You got PPAs in plastic packaging that has been known to impact brain development and behavior in fetuses, infants, and young children, reproductive health issues on the prostate gland, potentials to cause cancer, and endocrine disrupting effects that disrupt the balance of the body. Next, we have high fructose corn syrup, a sweetener that is made of cornstarch and laced in processed foods and beverages that have been linked to obesity, diabetes, fatty liver disease, inflammation. Here's another, yellow 5 and red 40. They're artificial dyes found in things like Twinkies, Mountain Dew, and various other candies. Red 40 is found in Doritos, breakfast cereals, baking goods, and fruit juices, to name a few. These are a few of the things they've been linked to. ADD and ADHD, allergies, immune disorders, mind storms, inflammatory bowel disease. This is scary because these ingredients are what I like to call balance disruptors. You see, all these chemicals aren't meant to be inside of your body. If they were, God would have put them there. What they do is they disrupt the balance of vital vitamins, minerals, and amino acids your body needs to function optimally. It's everything your body is missing right now. Over time, the influx of balance disruptors overpowered your body's supply of vital micronutrients, which has made it hard for you to maintain your health. It's like dumping a garbage truck into your body. As you can imagine, it makes it extremely difficult for your body to eliminate these chemicals without a daily resupply of vital micronutrients. Now that you see what most people can never see, let me ask you this. Would you feed a loved one food laced with these chemicals? How about your kids, if you have any? What about your mother? You wouldn't. So why would you let them lace your body with life-threatening chemicals and pull the plug on your health, potential, and well-being. Listen, I get it. I was unaware of this myself, and so was my family for the most part, so I don't blame you. As an adult, maybe you're a parent, or maybe you're at a stage in your life where you're trying to better yourself. If you don't treat the damage these chemicals are having on you, they will make you physically, mentally, and spiritually drained. Drained to the point that all of the dreams you had of becoming someone fade away into a distant memory. A memory that you will always look back on with regret and frustration, knowing you could have done something about it, but you didn't. And as you're watching this video, and if you know you don't have optimal health, you can do something about it. So the real question is, will you? And that's the question you should be asking yourself right now. Because if you do, it might just transform you and put you on the right path that you've been looking for so long. The path that all the greats take to live a fulfilling and rewarding life. Let me tell you from experience and talking to thousands of customers and top athletes that you cannot live a great life without excellent health. Health is all that matters, and it's not just possible. How do I know? Well, like I mentioned earlier, I was a D1 athlete, and that was all I knew. Football was my life, my identity, and my only focus. And until I had a career-ending day where everything came crashing down, everything I did was football, and it was all taken away from me. I lost my identity, and I didn't know who Mason was. There was a huge inner void in me, and over time, that anger built up because I felt like I threw my life away. I would drown myself in alcohol, and I'd pass out on the floor, and months rolled by with nothing to show for. I fell into this deep, deep hole of depression for another 4 to 5 months, and at this point, I literally hit rock bottom. Looking back now though, it was a blessing because I finally accepted that all these voices in my head saying, why me? Why does this have to happen to me? Before that, I would always try to drown them out with music or whatever to distract myself, mostly pleasure. But one day I looked in the mirror and I couldn't recognize myself. Dark circles under my eyes, man boobs, and a deeply unfulfilled look on my face staring back at me. And that was probably the worst day of my life, but it was also the day I mustered up the courage to make a decision. And that decision was to get my life on track and stop being a victim. And slowly, I did just that, hitting the gym a couple times a week, then went to daily. Some days I was doing twice a day, and this felt really good. I was getting myself on track, I was devoted, and I was now becoming more conscious of what I was eating, checking the ingredients list before picking something up. One of my good friends is extremely passionate about health and nutrition and understands everything that goes into your body, and I'm extremely grateful for him because it woke me up. Over the next month, I learned the ins and outs of health. Oh yeah, and I threw away all the chemical-laced supplements too. It never made sense to me. Can you take something with chemicals to make you healthier? It was weird. I was asking myself if there's something out there that's actually real and natural. And so I thought about it and did some Googling, and the list was surprisingly big. I would see everyone talking about sea moss and how it had all these minerals, or shilajit that's packed with antioxidants and has been around for centuries. And at that point, I was gonna try anything that didn't have ingredients that I couldn't pronounce. I knew that natural was the way. The results were okay, but I wanted better than normal. I wanted something that wowed me, and that's when I came across this thing that the ancient Greeks and Egyptians used called the food of the gods, most commonly known as bee bread. Honestly, at first, I was skeptical of this, like anything in my life. I was like, will it work for me? But how much better is this than all the stuff I've tried? And it's real. I've tried it all, and what's the worst thing that can happen if I try this too? So I ordered some bee bread for myself, and I kept my expectations extremely low since everything else up to this point was mediocre. And boy, was I wrong. The first day I take this, I feel amazing. But on the third and fourth days, it started to really hit me. I bit into this thing and I felt this buzz, a buzz that fuels your body with laser-like energy, and it's steady and it seemed to last for hours. And honestly, it hit me by surprise. So I went back to Google and I did my research on it. What I found out is that bees collect honey and pollen, which they bring back to the hive and combine it with digestive enzymes. It then goes through this process of fermentation that begins to extract and enhance all of these nutrients in the pollen. Then I found this study that shows bee bread has over 240 vital nutrients, vitamins, minerals, amino acids that we need. And it all started to make sense why I was feeling so good. And so like any normal person, I kept taking it. A month in, my sleep improved. And honestly, deep sleep has never felt so good. I used to never be able to sleep so deep. feet. I felt stronger in the gym. My lifts were going up every session. And it wasn't taking me so long to recover after. Fast forward a couple months and it felt like I was a whole new person. The interesting thing was that nobody in the US was talking about this. Bee bread was a big thing in Europe and the other side of the world, but not America. And so I wonder, if I felt that good and that one tiny bite a day could give me 240 vital compounds, why would I not take the risk? And why would I not make it available for others? All of these nutrients give us everything the body needs. It has all of the compounds that we need to thrive, all the antioxidants, minerals, you name it. And the best thing is that it's 98% bioavailable. That is how much you absorb of it, meaning we absorb pretty much all of it. And so I said, I'm gonna take this to the world, and that was the day that Spartan Bee Bread was born. I posted a video and that TikTok blew up and it got millions of views. And I kid you not, we ran out of stock in less than overnight. It was a few hours. It's sold out for months and months, and up until now, 2 years later, we've helped over 60,000 people with Spartan Bee Bread, well over 1,000 reviews, and funnily enough, people at the gym and around Florida have stopped me on the street to tell me how much of a difference it's made in their life. Take Brian, for example, who was in a terrible car wreck 2 years ago. He almost died and battled with traumatic brain injuries, a broken back and a broken neck. He's getting close to 40 and feels like he's got the energy he had in his 20s after taking Spartan Bee Bread. He says, I'm a carpenter and I can still work circles around these new generations. He says, I feel I owe this amazing energy to Spartan Bee Bread. This thing gives you superpowers. Or how about Fred, who's a 74-year-old professional soldier who had a lot of damage to his body and is taking Bee Bread to regain his health and improve his blood pressure. Or Robert, who's been using Bee Bread for 6 months and has this to say, since taking Bee Bread for 6 weeks now, it has really helped the power through my workouts. My energy has dramatically increased since using this product. Or what about the other customer who tried Spartan Bee Bread not being able to move, let alone walk, for years? They started taking it and immediately they felt relief in the inflammation in their toes. They were able to start moving them. It literally worked a miracle into their life. It's a miracle superfood. Scroll down on this page to read the rest of the 1,000+ reviews and grab some Spartan Bee Bread for yourself. It's time to transform your life and feel the buzz effect. Thank me later. Welcome to the family. Welcome to the movement. You will not regret it.